I'm a survivor of both child abuse and domestic violence, and I have over 40 years of abuse in my life. Um, Coming from physical abuse to rape, all the way to financial abuse and mental abuse. And I had the life that every person in America would dream about. I had a custom made home. I had new cars. I had 2 children, and we went on vacation every year. On the outside, it looked like a beautiful, relationship that looked like a beautiful home that everybody wanted. But in the inside of the home, it was a different story. And the truth about leaving domestic violence is almost to you can pinpoint it to my story. I did everything. I left around 6 or 7 times. I kept coming back, and the last time I left was I just knew in my gut that I was going to die that day, and I left and became homeless. And it was one of the hardest things I ever did in my life. And I just knew in my bones. I would talk to plenty of survivors, and we just know when we leave, that's it. Like, you're going to not survive. And that's like the final draw. You just know it. And I had one child that was in college and one that was still in the high school. And it was probably the most difficult time I could ever imagine. And I had found out about a program through the Catholic Church, and I started advocating for myself because being homeless is, like I said, not the best thing that you would ever want to even imagine. And I was homeless for, trying to save my life. And so I really started looking into services and advocating for myself and writing people and really trying to get someone to listen to me. And what someone I knew had told me about a program that was in that the Catholic diocese had, where they could help me get into some kind of housing. And I really fought and I really advocated for myself to get in that program. The Catholic Church got me into an apartment, and they had told me about a program called Dress for Success. And at the time, I didn't know anything about Dress for Success. All I knew was they would help me get into some, clothing, and I needed some clothing bad. So I got a referral and went to Dress for Success. And the more I got to go to these classes, and the more I started talking to Dee and the board members and the women in the program, I started becoming their friends. And we really supported each other. And when I was homeless, people judged me very harshly. And they didn't know my story. So I stopped telling people when I was homeless. I stopped telling people I was homeless because of the judgmental that was so hard on me. And Dee and the board members, they never treated any of us lower than themselves. And that's what I really loved about them. And the more I started, they would have like things that the sponsors would give, like you can go here, you can go to different opportunities to go out into the community and mingle with, very successful women. And whenever there was an opportunity, I was signing up. Like I'm signing up and I'm going. And so anyways, I checked out the company that I was applying for, and they handpicked their people. I I went back to the basics of what Dress for Success offers, and that's interviewing, that's resume. I went to Lauren's house and we worked on our resume. We did mimic interviews. We worked on it because this was going to be an opportunity. Regis is global. They have 32 plus offices around the world, and they handpick their employees because they handpick them to grow into the company. And this would be, a good opportunity for me to advance in the corporate world. One of the things that really intrigued me about Regis was the owner. The owner was an entrepreneur, and he intrigued me so much. I wanted to get that job no matter what, because I was like, if I can't get this going, maybe I can make a career at Regis. But with that said, I applied, I interviewed several times, and I got the position. I've worked here a little over a year. And in the middle of the pandemic, a position opened up. And I applied and I became a manager in the middle of the pandemic. And I cannot ask for a better team that it's probably one of the best places I've ever worked for. And like I said, they handpick their people because they invest so much time into them to climb the corporate ladder. And they have stories all the time where they talk about the people that they hire and how they're just excelling excelling. And the larger that the company makes, the larger we get, and we invest our time, the more we grow with them. And it's so funny how you have to kind of go back to the basics, what Dress for Success teaches you. And it was a blessing in disguise. And looking back, I love that quote that Steve Jobs says, "You can't connect the dots looking forward, but you can always connect the dots looking backwards." And when I look backwards and look at my life today, without Dress for Success, I would not be in the situation I am today. And as a survivor of domestic violence, they say it takes 10 years for us to actually get stable. And Dress for Success was the only agency that I could offer that to me. No matter when I called them, or no matter what I needed, they were always there. So with that said, it has changed so many lives. Not only, if you think about a ripple, like if you think about how when you throw a stone into a pond, it has ripples, and those little seeds that Dress planted in me has rippled beyond measures. Not only in my life, but all the way around the world and other people's lives that had no connection of Dress for Success.